Okay. Iti text 23. Iti mimam satastasya brahmana sah sunubihi Bhagavan yajna purusho jagar jagendra sannibhaha. While Brahma was deliberating with his son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu roared tumultuously like a great mountain. Purport. It appears that great hills and mountains also have their roaring power because they are also living entities. The volume of the sound vibrated is in proportion to the size of the material body. While Brahma was guessing about the appearance of the Lord's incarnation as a boar, the Lord confirmed Brahma's contemplation by roaring with his gorgeous voice. Text 24. Brahmanam harshayam asa haristam cha vijottaman swagarjitena kakubaha parit pratiswanayata vibhu. The omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and the other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Purport. Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead are enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnations. The appearance of the wonderful and gigantic incarnation of Vishnu as the mountain-like boar did not fill them with any kind of fear, although the Lord's resounding voice was tumultuous and echoed horribly in all directions as an open threat to all demons who might challenge his omnipotency. Hare Krishna. So I think from here the context changes. Prabhu, with your permission, can I stop here?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. So we'll quickly chant some Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So at the outset, I would like to express my inability to speak anything about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam or glorification of the Lord, and express my total unqualification for this service. However, by the instruction of the senior devotees and by the inspiration of His Grace Shivaguna Krishna Prabhu, and by all of your blessings, which I am humbly seeking at your lotus feet, I'm trying to attempt to glorify the Lord for my own purification. So for which I seek all of your blessings and prayers, so that I may utter the right words in the right spirit, in the glorification of Lord Shri Krishna. So with that, let me share my screen. I have a presentation for all of you today. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. There might be a small delay. So what I'll do is I'll turn off my video if that's okay, as long as the presentation is running. And once I stop the presentation, perhaps I'll turn it on. I hope that's okay.
It's fine, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the verse that we were discussing today, verse number 22 especially, is such a beautiful verse. Translation. First of all, this boar was seen to be no bigger than the tip of a thumb, and within a moment,
VishvaKalyan Gaura Prabhu, audio is
yes,
not
Prabhu.
there. It's there is the slide did not move, did not change, and no audio.
Yes, Prabhu. I did not change the slide.
And there was a pause in the audio, and so, okay, fine.
Okay. Anybody else also experiencing the same issue? Because I'll have
Yes,
to change
Prabhu. For
network.
me also, audio was not clear. It was very feeble. Now
Okay,
it's okay.
Prabhuji.
Now it's okay.
Let me try it now. I think it's better now.
It's okay. It's okay now. For me, it's okay.
Yes,
Devotees
Prabhu.
also may get the inputs. One or two devotees randomly can
Yeah,
say.
now okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Audio is okay. Okay. So I was reading the purport of verse 22, Canto 3, chapter 13, text 22. Okay. Since Brahma is the supermost person in the universe, and he had never before experienced such a form, which means the form of a boar. Yes, Prabhu? Okay. He could guess that the wonderful appearance of the boar was an incarnation of Vishnu. The uncommon features symptomatic of the incarnation of Godhead can bewilder even the mind of Brahma. So this is Lord Brahma trying to understand who is this personality who has emanated from his nostril. He was so tiny when he emanated, but within a second, within a moment, not even a second, a moment is less than a second, right? It's, I think, 1/11th of a second. So within a moment, this personality who emanated from Lord Brahma's nostril became huge and gigantic. So this
Yeah,
is
யாருமே திறக்கல கரெக்டா.
so this is the description that we were discussing about Lord Varahadev. So this whole chapter is a wonderful description of the incarnation of Lord Varahadev, the appearance of Lord Varahadev. And I think through chapter 19, the entire pastime of Lord Varahadev's appearance, so which means both the Lord appears, so the appearance of Lord Varahadev is described twice, which means two appearances are described. One is of Shweta Varaha and the other one is the Rakta Varaha. So what you are witnessing now on this particular slide is the Raktavaraha, which means the Lord in reddish hue or reddish form. Shvetavaraha is the Lord in whitish form. So the Lord in Shvetavaraha incarnated to, as we all know, to rescue Mother Earth, Mother Bhumi. So when she was submerged into the Garbhodaka ocean, the Lord appeared as Shvetavaraha and then placed her once again in her dignified position within the universe. So once again, when Hiranyaksha was tormenting Mother Earth, then Mother Earth once again submerged into the Garbhodaka ocean. Then the Lord once again incarnated as Raktavaraha, which means the same Varahadev in his reddish hue incarnated to once again rescue Mother Earth and restore her once again in her dignified position of dignity within the cosmos, and also to rescue all his devotees from the torments of Hiranyaksha. So I am sure all of us are familiar with the pastime of Lord Varahadev and his battle with Hiranyaksha, which is almost all legendary, and the descriptions are so heroic. It is so amazing and so thrilling. The fight between Lord Varahadev and Hiranyaksha is so descriptive in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I mean, it enlivens the entire picture. And I think somebody should go on mute. Thank you. So it enlivens the entire picture and the battle between Lord Varaha and Hiranyaksha. I don't want to spoil that entire episode for all of you, because in the forthcoming chapters, we'll be elaborately looking at those descriptions. And today we've also, we are discussing on the topic of the appearance of Lord Varahadev. I must point out that usually when I prepare for lectures, I try to reiterate from the lectures of Srila Prabhupada or other Vaishnavas. But unfortunately for these verses, I couldn't find much lectures online by Prabhupada or any other senior Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Yes. So please try to remain on mute unless you want to speak out, so that we'll have continuity in the discussion. Thank you. So as I was describing, so this is almost like a test the Lord was trying to take of me to describe the pastimes of Lord Varahadev. So again, this is something that has been inspiring me. So as soon as I read this purports, I was contemplating about the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. The Lord says, Janma karma, the appearance of the Lord and the pastimes of the Lord are wonderful and marvelous, divyam, transcendental. They are not mundane pastimes of the mortals, which means they are not belonging or they are not pertaining to the modes of material nature. They are transcendental. They are beyond the modes of material nature. Hence, understanding, a proper understanding, in fact, tattvataha, which means in truth, in actuality, in completion, when one understands the appearance and the pastimes of the Lord, then tyaktva deham punarjanma, once this material body is left within this, which means once that personality gives up this material body, naiti mameti, so Arjuna, punarjanma naiti mameti, then he will not have to take up one more material body, which means what? He will go back home, back to God. So in that spirit, to understand the appearance and the pastimes of Lord Varahadev, the appearance of Lord Varahadev is described in many, many lectures. Again, in Varahadvadashi, during the appearance day of Lord Varahadev, all of us might have heard many times about how the interaction between the four Kumaras and Jai Vijay, and how Jai Vijay have been cursed and how the Lord personally comes and apologizes, and then it is all the divine plan of Lord Vishnu, and then they come life after life as in three lifetimes. It's Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and then the descriptions we've seen about Hiranyaksha and Lord Varahadev, the interaction between Hiranyaksha and Lord Varahadev. So that is the in brief the pastime of the appearance of Lord Varahadev. Also, I've heard in several lectures that Lord Varahadev appears in the Rakta Varaha form or Adi Varaha form to kill the demon Hiranyaksha. Right? So this is in short the descriptions of the appearance of Lord Varahadev. However, I was also, while studying for or preparing for this particular lecture, I was also interested to know about the pastimes of Lord Varahadev, how Lord Varahadev was reciprocating with his devotees, and the various Leela Sthalas and the places of pilgrimage pertaining to Lord Varahadev. So in Tattvataha, so in truth, so I just was inspired to know about all of these. So I thought we'll have a short discussion about the pastimes of Lord Varahadev and visit some places of pilgrimage where Lord Varahadev is worshipped, at least within the land known as India as of today. So this is going to be a Tirtha Yatra, virtual Tirtha Yatra for all of us. So I hope all of you are ready to embark on this transcendental journey. So where would you like to visit first? North, south, east, or west?
South.
South? Okay. But as the land of Vrindavan is known to be the land of Krishna, I thought we'll begin from there. And then
No problem. Just any option. Lord's
so,
pastime, wherever you start, it is sweet. So north, south, anywhere it's okay.
absolutely, absolutely. So we'll visit the land of Vrindavan today first. Vrindavana Ramya Sthala Divya Chintamani. So the first place that we will visit today is known as Varaha Ghat in Vrindavan. How many of you have heard of Varaha Ghat in Vrindavan or have visited this place? Okay, so today we are about to visit Varaha Ghat in Vrindavan. So towards the left on the top right where my pointer is, that is supposed to be the Ghat. And formerly, Yamuna River used to flow in this particular pathway. But she drifted away a few kilometers and changed course, as time passes and as tides change and like that. So she drifted away from this place. And what is left is this particular passageway and the old ghat, which is known as Varaha Ghat. And Gautama Muni's ashram is exactly opposite to this Varaha Ghat. And this also comes on the parikrama path of Vrindavan. And here the great sage Gautama Muni performed many austerities for thousands of years. And the interesting part is it is very nearby to the Krishna Balaram Mandir of ISKCON Vrindavan. So I hope one day when all of us are, out of this pandemic situation, when we visit, so we will also get an opportunity to witness this particular pilgrimage, place of pilgrimage. All right. So in Varaha Ghat, the Lord Shri Krishna showed his Varaha form to the gopis. So the Sthala Purana goes as such that the gopis along with Radharani came to meet Krishna on the banks of Yamuna. And Krishna arrives ahead of the gopis and he decides to play a trick on the gopis. So what does he do? He hides himself in the bushes nearby. And after some time, what happens? Srimati Radharani arrives along with all of her friends. But they notice that Krishna is nowhere to be seen. So Radharani goes anxious. And when she calls out for Krishna, the Lord comes out from the bushes, but not in his form of a young boy, but in the Varaha avatar, because he wants to prank all the gopis. So the gopis see a huge boar, and this boar is roaring loudly, like the verses that we have seen in 23 and 24. And this huge boar is displaying mighty weapons in its arms, and and it is controlling the entire universe. The entire universe is revolving around this boar. And when they witnessed this sight, they became completely bewildered and perturbed, as the sight of a ferocious looking boar is not what they expected. They were expecting a young boy who they were used to play with. And when they look at this, bewildering sight, they pray to Lord Krishna, that Lord Sri Krishna, this is not a sight that we were, or this is not a darshan that we want to see. Please return back to your Shama Sundara form. And then Lord reciprocates, because he is Bhavagrahi. So then he reciprocates with the plea of the gopis. And then once again, he returns back to his original cowherd boy form. So he once again takes back his form as a young cowherd boy. So towards the top left is where the ghat is. So below also where the tree is and two people are standing, that is where the ghat was originally there. People used to come and bathe in river Yamuna. Towards the top right, you see the deity of Lord Varahadev, who is worshipped there as commemorating this pastime there. Below is the deity of Gautama Muni in his ashram opposite to the ghat. So this is Varaha Ghat in Vrindavan. So now we are towards the west of India. So from the western part, almost central towards western part from Vrindavan, we are moving towards Mathura. Okay. So the next place of pastime that we are visiting is Adivaraha temple in Mathura. So this is the beautiful deity that we can see in Mathura, Adivaraha temple. So here there are two particular temples of Lord Varaha. One you can see is Shweta Varaha, and the other one is the Adivaraha temple. So what we are currently having darshan of, or the Lord that we are having darshan of, is Adivaraha Dev. And it is said to be known that this particular deity of Lord Varahadev in Mathura is the most ancient deity in the entirety of Mathura. And in chapter 163 of Varaha Purana consists of 24,000 verses. And in chapter 163, Lord Varaha personally recites the Sthala Purana and his appearance at this particular kshetra, in this particular place of pilgrimage. Lord Varaha mentioned that Kapila Muni personally, Lord Kapila, right? Kapila and Devahuti. Kapila Muni personally made this Vigraha of Lord Varaha with his mind. And Kapila Muni gave this Vigraha to Indra in Satya Yuga. So Lord Indra worshipped this Vigraha in his kingdom. Now what happened is, when Ravana took over the entire three worlds, obviously he took over the kingdom of Indradev also, right? And then when that happened, he took this Vigraha of Adivaraha to his capital in Sri Lanka. And then we all know about the entire epic of Ramayana. And then when Lord Sri Ramchandra killed Ravana and was victorious against the battle against Ravana. And he establishes his brother Vibhishana as the king of Lanka, as Lanka Naresh. Then Vibhishana, being a devotee of Lord Ramchandra, offered and surrendered everything unto Lord Ramachandra. And he said, me and whatever, me and mine, whatever belongs to me, everything belongs to you, my Lord. I'm surrendering unto you completely. And then Lord Ram said that he did not want anything from Vibhishana. Of course, the Lord being Atmaram actually does not want anything. But then, remembering this pastime of Lord Varahadev, Lord Ramachandra said that he did not want anything from Vibhishan except the Adi Varaha Vigraha that was taken from Amaravati, from Indra, right? Ravana took this deity. Then Vibhishana was very, very happy to hear this request of Lord Sri Ramachandra, and then returns back this deity. And then Lord Ramachandra carried this deity to back to Ayodhya and personally worshipped this deity for 110 years in Ayodhya. And then what happened is when Shatrughna, right, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna, his brother, wanted to go to Mathura. So there he was going to kill a demon called Lavanasura. So then he brought this deity of Lord Adivaraha with him to Mathura. And then since that particular time, it was established there in Mathura and has been worshipped ever since. Right? Lord Adivaraha ki jai, Mathura Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Sri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai.
So this is the wonderful deity of Lord Varaha, where his tusks are also very, very prominent. And now we are having the darshan of Shweta Varaha Dev temple also at Mathura. They are almost very, very close by, walkable distance. And it is said that the standard of worship here in both these temples is very, very high and very, very strict. And such that, you know, the temple authorities and the Brahmanas don't even allow non-Hindus or non-Indians into this temple. That is the custom or ritual that is followed there, similar to Jagannath Puri. So, so we visited the land of Vrindavan, and from Vrindavan we have come to Mathura. So where next? So next we are visiting the land of Navadvip. Navadvip Dham ki jai. So as I said, this is going to be an all India tour. So hold on. So Navadvip Dham. So this is the land of Navadvip. And I was very, very astonished when I heard the pastime of Lord Varahadev in Navadvip. This is such a sweet reciprocation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his devotees in the land of Navadvip. So the Navadvip means 9 islands. See, I think last time, you remember when we held the summer camp for the juniors, Sirisha and I, we came up with a small rhyme for the children. Remember that? In the 9 islands, Navadvip, Hari Bol. In the 9 islands, Navadvip, Hari Bol. In the 9 islands, where the mercy never ends, we shall chant the names of Gaura Hari Nitai Gaur. So this is a small rhyme that we came up with the inspiration of Navadvip.
Hari Hari Bol.
Navadvip, 9 islands. So the 9 islands of Navadvip are shaped in a lotus form, beginning from Antardvip, which is the central island. That is where Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir, Yoga Peeth, the ISKCON campus is there. You know, this particular yellow circle here. Sri Mayapur Dham, right? Appearance of appearance thala of Lord Chaitanya, Advaita Acharya's place, Srivasangan, everything there, it's there. And Simanta Dweep, Bodhruma Dweep, Madhya Dweep, Kola Dweep, Ritu Dweep, Janu Dweep, Modhruma Dweep, and Rudra Dweep. So these are the 9 islands of Navadweep across the 3 rivers, Bhagirathi, Alaknanda, and Gangamai. So, yeah. So, amongst the 9 islands, and Kola Dweep, of course, it's in the title. So, Kola Dweep here that you witness, right, to the bottom, a little bit to the left, is where Lord Varahadev's pastimes have occurred. In fact, on the western bank of the Ganga, which means this, right, towards the west, this whole bank, right, there is a raised island here. Sorry, there is a raised mountain, a small mountain known as Kulia Pahar or Kulia Pahar. Sometimes it is known as Kola Dvipa Pahar or Kola Pahar. But due to the influence of time, place, and circumstance, naturally there is deterioration. So as of today, the mountain is no longer visible, but has been described in the scriptures as Kola. So in Satya Yuga, there was a Brahmana named Vasudev, and he was living here in this particular place in Kola. He was a great devotee of Lord Varahadev, and he would worship the deity of Sri Varahadev very, very sincerely, offering his prayers. He would pray to the Lord very fervently, my dear Lord, please be merciful unto me, and please give me your darshan so that my eyes may become purified and my life can become perfect. So speaking in this manner, the Brahmana used to be ecstatic. He used to collapse and roll around the ground in separation from the Lord. And in frustration, he used to think that my Lord is not giving me his darshan. Therefore, my entire life is useless. So in this way, he used to lament, and very deeply, very sincerely, he used to pray to the Lord. After some days, Sri Varahadev was very, very pleased with the devotion of this Brahmana or Vasudev Vipra. And he mercifully bestowed his darshan to Vasudev Vipra in the form of a boar, which means in his form as Varahadev. So boar is also known as Kola. That is why this island is known as Kola Dweep. Right? When the Lord appeared, his entire body was effulgent, decorated with all sorts of, transcendental jewels. The Lord's lotus feet, neck, nose, face, and eyes were especially attractive. The descriptions are mentioned in the Varaha Purana, and his body was as tall as a mountain. And when having such a magnanimous darshan of Lord Varahadev, Vasudev Vipra saw, and he felt so blessed and so fortunate. He offered his obeisances to the Lord, falling flat, which means he offered his Dandavat Pranams to Lord Varahadev as soon as he saw this magnanimous darshan of Lord Varahadev. And he started to cry with great ecstasy and rolling in the ground. And upon seeing this darshan of Lord Varahadev, the Lord was very, very pleased with the devotion of Vasudev Vipra. Right? And then he was thinking, oh Vasudev, you are my sincere devotee and my great devotee. And I'm very, very pleased with your devotion. So then the Lord narrates a small pastime. He says, please listen to me. I am paraphrasing from the translations from Varaha Purana. Please listen to me. When Kali Yuga comes, my manifested pastimes will take place in this Navadvip. There is no place in the three worlds equal to Navadvip Dham. This is my dearest Dham and has been kept very secret. The scriptures describe that all the holy places, including Brahmavarta, exist here. And Sri Mayapur Dham is not different from Vrindavan. The most pious land is where I appeared from the fire sacrifice of Lord Brahma and killed the demon Hiranyaksha by piercing him with his teeth. So this Koladvip is where Hiranyaksha was supposed to be killed. And this pastime is personally narrated by Lord Varahadev. And the Lord says that whoever resides in Navadvip will attain the results of residing in all other tirthas, because all the other tirthas are manifest in the islands of Navadvip. You are very fortunate to serve me in this Navadvip Dham. And the Lord bestows benedictions unto Vasudev Vipra, saying that you will again take birth here in the islands of Navadvip during my manifested pastimes. You will see the most beautiful form of Gaura Sundara and his great Sankirtan pastimes. Having spoken these words, Sri Varahadev vanished from that place. After hearing this particular Devavani, right, divine sound and vision, the Brahmana was bewildered once again by this astonishing pastime of Lord Varahadev. And he was trying to understand what's going on. And once he, realizes what benediction the, Lord Varahadev has presented to him, he understands the magnanimity of the Lord and understands that personally the most merciful Lord Sri Gauranga will manifest his pastimes in Navadvip Dham, at the beginning of Kali Yuga. And all the rishis and all the sages have kept this particular information very, very hidden and very, very confidential, only hinting slightly here and there, so that only the most intelligent personalities, only the pure devotees of the Lord could understand the significance. And he was also contemplating that the glory of these pastimes will be spread across the world when the Lord will manifest himself as Lord Gauranga in the land of Natia. So then he was thinking that, this particular transcendental secret has been revealed to me in Satya Yuga itself, and the Lord has given me the benediction that I will personally be appearing there as well to assist him in his pastime. So he was thinking of himself as the greatest personality, or he was thinking of himself as the most fortunate person at that particular point of time. And since that time, he was loudly chanting the names of Gauranga. Gauranga bulite habe pulaka sharira. So whoever chants the names of Gauranga, what happens to him? The eyes, the hair stand on end in the body, and the eyes are filled with tears flowing like the Ganges in ecstasy. So that is the transformation that happens, right? So this is the wonderful pastime that happens of Lord Varahadev, Koladvip. So this Koladvipa Parvata, right here that we've seen at the top of Koladvip, like we mentioned, it is no longer manifest as of today, is said to be non-different from Giriraj Govardhan in Vrindavan, right? And of course, when we speak about Giriraj Govardhan, there is also Bahulavan. So it is said that at this particular place, at the foothills, there is also a big forest. Even today, there is a huge forest there. And that forest is non-different from Bahulavan in Vrindavan. So this is the amazing pastime of Koladvip. Navadvip Dham ki jai. So next, we will look at some more intimate pastimes related to, especially, or which are very dear to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because they are in connection with our dear Lord Gauranga. So next, we will look at some pastimes which are narrated in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam, right? This is in the Madhya Lila, chapter 5, if I'm not correct, verse 18 onwards. So all of us know about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, where he manifests himself in the Shadbhuja form, where he reveals himself as the fountainhead of all incarnations, right? As Lord Ramachandra and as Lord Krishna himself. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. Lord Chaitanya is the same personality of Godhead in the mode of his most exalted devotee, Srimati Radharani. So this pastime of Lord Chaitanya in Varaha, so this is a wonderful pastime of Lord Chaitanya where he reveals himself as Lord Varaha. So this is such a beautiful and nectarian pastime as well, revealed in Chaitanya Mangal. So anybody wants to read these slides? Each bullet point is one particular verse, beginning from verse number 18 of chapter 5 in Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Bhagavata. So anybody wants to volunteer to read these particular verses or translations?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. So Lord Chaitanya in Varaha Avatar. One day, after he about Lord Varaha, Lord Chaitanya roared and went to. I think Mataji also want to. Mataji, if you want, you can continue, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. But there are 4 slides. There are a lot of verses.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little
Okay,
quick.
so I will read one slide and Mataji maybe can read.
Yes, Prabhu. You can read 2 slides, but be a little quicker.
Okay. Loud Hanuman. So Lord Chaitanya dearly loved Murari Gupta. Lord Chaitanya went to Murari's house. Murari respected his feet. Calling out, Bore, Bore, Lord Chaitanya ran. Stunned. Murari Gupta looked. Lord Chaitanya entered the temple room of Lord Vishnu. Lord Chaitanya manifested the form of Lord Varaha. With his tusks, he lifted the water. With 4 hooves, Lord Chaitanya said, Offer prayers to me, Murari. And at that wonderful sight, what could Murari say? No, speak. Don't be afraid. For so many days you did not know who I am. Murari made this request, O Lord, you alone know how to speak these prayers. Anantashesh, who carries countless in his thousands heads, offers prayers to you. He cannot come to an end of your glories. Who else has the power to accept? Still, the Vedas do not know everything about you. O Lord, I see and hear that countless come force your gain. You are full of transcendental bliss. How can the Vedas know all your pastimes? Therefore, you alone know yourself. Persons who have your mercy can know something about you. How can I be qualified to offer prayers to you? Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Shaiju Prabhu or Mataji, if you want to continue, please. Hare Krishna, or anybody else? Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna,
Please.
Prabhuji.
No, not able to unmute. I'll try to unmute.
Okay.
Prabhu, please unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
okay. Okay. Okay, now please go ahead.
Can I read, Prabhuji? May I read?
Yes, yes, please go ahead, Prabhuji.
Actually, Mataji is raised actually. Mataji unmuted. Next slide, Prabhuji can read.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
Fine. Okay, fine.
Which Mataji, Prabhu? Hare
I
Krishna.
already unmuted her. Unmute.
Okay.
I don't know Mataji is there or I don't know. Because before I unmute, I put on everybody in mute because of disturbance. Then I
No problem. I think Shaiju Prabhu can continue. Mataji, maybe
whoever is
there are some more verses. Maybe Mataji can come.
Please
Yeah,
quote
later.
Murari Gupta's words. Lord Varaha then spoke this angry criticism of the Vedas, saying that I have no hands, feet, face, or eyes. The Vedas mock me. In Varanasi, a teacher named Pragashananda breaks into pieces the limbs of my body. He teaches the Vedas, but he does not think that I have a body. All his limbs have leprosy, but he does not know it. Leprosy it means, right?
Yes,
All
correct.
his limbs have leprosy, but he does not know it. My limbs are supremely pure. They contain all yajnas within them. Brahma, Shiva, and all the demigods sing the glories of my nature and my pastimes. The touch of my limbs makes everything pure and sacred. Still, this fellow in Varanasi says that my body is an illusion. How can I tolerate that? Please listen, O Murari Gupta, and I tell you the truth. I will tell you the secret of the Vedas. I am Lord Varaha. I am the truth described in the Vedas. In ancient times, I rescued the earth. I have descended to this world to begin the Sankirtan movement. I will stay among the devotees. I will kill the demons. I will not tolerate an attack on my servant. Even if the attacker is my son, I will kill him. If he touches my servant, I will cut my own son into pieces. I do not speak a lie. O Murari Gupta, please listen with all your heart. Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
so here this is a reference to the Lord as Varahadev when he rescued Mother Bhumi. So then it is said that the Lord's tusks were in contact with Mother Bhumi's womb, and immediately just with that transcendental union, they begot a son known as Naraka. And it is said that he was a very, very qualified king and he was ruling over the earth. However, by coming in contact with various demons, he also took to the demoniac nature, and therefore the Lord personally had to kill his own son to give protection to his devotees. Right? So that is the reference here. Yes, Prabhu. If you don't mind, I will continue. Just to keep notice of the time. So the Lord says in the previous slide, if he touches my servant, I will cut down my own son into pieces. I do not speak a lie. O Murari Gupta, please listen with all your heart. When I lifted up the earth, her womb touched me. In this way, a powerful son named Naraka was born. I taught my son everything about religion. My son became a great king. He protected the demigods, brahmanas, gurus, and devotees. Still, because of past bad karma, he fell into bad association. He associated with King Bana. Then he took pleasure in tormenting the devotees. I will not tolerate an attack on my servants. To protect my servants, I cut my own son into pieces. Birth after birth, you have served me. Therefore, I have told all this to you. Overwhelmed by hearing the Lord's words, Murari Gupta wept. Glory, glory to Lord Chaitanya and to Murari Gupta. Glory to Lord Varaha, the protector of his servants. In this way, in home after home, the Lord mercifully revealed his true identity to all his servants. Recognizing their Lord, all his servants felt great bliss in their hearts. No longer were they afraid of the materialists and offenders. All the marketplaces and bathing ghats, they loudly chanted, Krishna! Gathering together with their Lord, the devotees blissfully chanted the holy names day and night. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the beautiful pastime of Lord Gauranga or Lord Chaitanya, manifesting himself or exhibiting himself or revealing himself as Lord Varahadev to Gupta. So I hope all of you have appreciated and basically gone into that mood of Navadvip. So from Vrindavan we went to Mathura. From Mathura we went to Navadvip. So now we will be following the path of Lord Chaitanya on his South India tour. Right? Any guesses where next we are going next? Himachalam? No, not that south also.
Present day, Andhra Pradesh,
Andhra Pradesh, a little up.
Orissa.
Yes. Jagannath Puri, yes.
Very
A little more, a little before Jagannath Puri. Okay. So the next place of Prabhuji, I might be going overboard, but if it's time, please let me know because I have so many places of pastimes. Maybe we can continue next time also. But if it's time, please let me know. I'll keep continuing until then.
Hare Krishna, Manibhushan Prabhu and Shivana Prabhu to decide on that. Okay. It's a person,
Yes.
so depending for the interest of
There
Holiday, Prabhu, you can go ahead.
yeah.
Holidays, no problem.
Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna.
It's a holiday and a holy day as well.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. So the next place that we are visiting is Varahanath temple in Yagyapura or Orissa. So this is closer to Jagannath Puri, around 100 miles, 70 miles from Jagannath Puri. And this is a very, very well-known place in Orissa. It's called Yagyapuri. So now we are having the darshan of Lord Varahadev or Varahanath temple from the outside. So this is the Gopuram, right? It is situated on the southern side of the Vaitarani river. The Vaitarani river is the river that is in the edge of the entire cosmic manifestation. It is the separating river, sorry, the Viraja river between the material world and the spiritual world. It's non-different. This was mentioned by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur during his visit to this place in 1930. We'll come to that. So this place is known as Yagyapur or Jajpur or Jajapur, like that. There are many names to this place. Huh? You visited? Oh wow, very nice. So formerly, great sages used to come to Yagyapur and perform many sacrificial or sacrifices, fire sacrifices on the bank of the Vaitarani river. Therefore, place where yagyas are conducted, Yagyapura, right? Place where sacrifices are performed. Some people also say, according to the Sthala Purana, that King Yayati, right, from the Bhagavatam, if anybody remembers. Yes. So King Yayati also had his capital in this particular place. So therefore, it was also known as Yayati Pura or Yayapura or Yajapura. And therefore, that name also comes from his name, is what some people say as part of the local legend or the Sthala Purana. So the Sthala Purana of this particular place or Yagyapura states that Lord Brahma performed the Ashwamedha sacrifices, right, in the Dashashwamedha Ghat. Dasha Ashwamedha Ghat. So he performed 10 Ashwamedha Yajnas in Dashashwamedha Ghat. So in fact, the Dashashwamedha Ghat is right opposite to this temple. Very, very close, opposite to each other, right? And then when he was performing this Ashwamedha sacrifice, the Lord Brahma noticed that the Vedas were stolen. And then he requested Lord Vishnu for help to retrieve the Vedas. And as soon as the yajna was completed, Lord Vishnu emerged from the sacrificial fire in the form of Lord Varaha. And then he returned all the stolen Vedic scriptures to Lord Brahma. So from that day onwards, also the Sthala Purana states that the location of that yajna was famous to be known as Yagyapura. This place is also called as Gada Kshetra. Why? Because it is also named after the Gadha, or not Gadha, Gada. Gadha means donkey. Gada means mace. Gada used by Lord Varaha to defeat Hiranyaksha. Right? Okay. One more interesting thing, like I mentioned, all these places of pilgrimage are related to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our Sampradaya, and Lord Chaitanya. Anybody knows the significance of Yagyapura? Lord Chaitanya's grandfather, Upendra Mishra, was from this place. So you can say that, Tata Paranda or my native place, you say, right? So in one way, Yagyapura is the native place of Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya's grandfather, Upendra Mishra, was also from Yagyapura. So he shifted to one place known as Srihatta in Bangladesh. And from that place, his father, Lord Chaitanya's father, Jagannath Mishra, also was born there in Srihatta, Bangladesh. And Jagannath Mishra ji also shifted to Navadvip Dham in Mayapur after that. And then after that, all of us know the pastime of how Lord Chaitanya was born, or Lord Chaitanya appeared there. So that's how this is connected there. Also, so this is the entrance of Lord Varahanath temple. Now we are entering into the temple and having darshan of Lord Varahanath. And once you look at on top of the Gopuram, right, that beautiful Gopuram, this is the amazing ornate artwork on the ceiling of Lord Varahanath. So this is the beautiful darshan of Lord Varahanath. Lord Varahanath ki jai.
Yeah.
So this is Lord Varahanath towards the left, accompanied by Sri Lakshmi Devi, his consort, and Jagannath ji also towards the right. So all three deities are in one particular stone itself, which means they are merged together. Okay. This also will be very interesting to all of you. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to commemorate all the places of, or all the places where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited during his pilgrimage to South India. So in 1930, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was personally present here and established the footprints of Lord Chaitanya on 25th of December 1930. So Mahaprabhu visited Yagyapura in 1511 AD. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Yagyapura, the Lord also went into ecstasy. He was dancing, before Lord Varahadev and chanting and offering obeisances and various prayers. This also is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 5, text number 3 and 4. Okay. So Lord Chaitanya also passed he spent one night in this temple. So at this particular place, you can see, the footprints of Lord Chaitanya, and the inscription on top says that Chaitanya footprints installed by Paramahamsa Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami in 1930. So now all of you are ready to have the darshan of footprints of Lord Chaitanya. So these are the beautiful prints of Lord Chaitanya in Varahanath temple, which is the shelter of all great sages and devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Rahanath Dev ki jai. There is also one sweet pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Lord Varahanath's temple. So this is of course the darshan, and there is a huge banyan tree in the angan of, or in the courtyard of Lord Varahanath. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Lord Varahanath and was having his darshan, he was spending a night there. And when the Lord was in the courtyard of Lord Varahanath, a small bird landed on the lap of Lord Chaitanya when he was there. And the bird was sitting on the lap of Lord Chaitanya, was singing such beautiful songs in the glorification of Lord Gauranga. And suddenly, in the witness, in front of everybody, the small bird left its body and went directly into the spiritual world. And to commemorate this particular pastime of that little bird, a small samadhi of that bird is built under this banyan tree. So even today we can witness that samadhi of that bird under this banyan tree. So that's a beautiful pastime of Lord Chaitanya in Yajnapura. So next we are visiting Jagannath Puri. So I could not find any pastimes related to this particular deity in Jagannath Puri. However, this is a photograph that was taken in 1934, I believe, by Archaeological Survey of India, depicting Lord Varahadev within, or this is a small inscription of Lord Varahadev within the Jagannath Puri temple premises. All right. So next from Jagannath Puri, so Orissa, right? So which is the next place that comes after that? Huh? Yes, now we are entering into Andhra Pradesh. So which is the famous place which Lord Chaitanya visits in Andhra Pradesh? And connected to Lord Varahadev.
Kurma Kshetra?
Connected to Lord Varahadev. Yes. So it is Simhachalam.
Simhachalam.
So this is the wonderful temple premises of Simhachalam, right? Where the Lord manifests himself as Lord Varaha Narasinghadev. So he has three forms, which means his lotus face is in the form of Lord Varaha or Lord Boar. His abdomen is in the form of Lord Vishnu, right? And his nails, his toes, and I believe his limbs are in the form of Lord Narsingadev with ferocious claws and all that. So a combination of all three, such a wonderful darshan the Lord gives to whom? To Prahlad Maharaj. So after Prahlad Maharaj, after Narsingadev, assassinates or kills Hiranyakashipu, and then Prahlad Maharaj offers his prayers, and then Prahlad Maharaj comes to this particular place, of Simhachala to basically offer prayers to Lord Vishnu. It is also known that Hiranyakashipu used to torture Prahlad Maharaj in multitudes of ways. He was very creative in that way to torture his devotees. In Chaitanya Mangal also, when we were reading the verses, Lord Chaitanya said that he will not tolerate any kinds of harm to his devotees. So here also, the Simhachala Parvata or the mountain of Simhachala was used to crush Prahlad Maharaj by Hiranyakashipu. Just look at the demoniac mentality of Hiranyakashipu. And it is said that to give protection to his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Narsingadev or Lord Vishnu used to personally come here and slightly topple or slightly lift the mountain of Simhachala with his toe. That's it. Just his toe was sufficient to tilt the mountain and give protection to Prahlad Maharaj. So this was a very dear place to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj visits here and offers his prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev and pleads him to give darshan. And Lord Nrsimhadev is very, very pleased by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. And then he manifests himself in this amazing form of Varaha Nrsimhadev. So now we'll all have darshan of Lord Varaha Nrsimhadev. Varaha Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai.
So 364 days in a year, Lord Varaha Nrsimhadev gives darshan completely, decorated with chandan or sandalwood paste. Only on one particular day of the year, which I know you know, and on that particular day, only for 12 hours, the Lord gives darshan in Nija Rupa or in Nijaswarupa, without any particular alankara or without any sandalwood paste. So only during that particular time, we can have darshan of Lord Varaha Nrsimhadev in his actual form. We are able to witness his deity, all the intricate details. So anybody knows which particular day this is?
It is in April, Prabhu, in Appearance Day. Somewhere in
No,
April.
Prabhu. This is Akshaya Tritiya. So on the day of Akshaya Tritiya, the Lord gives Nija Darshan, Nijaswarupa Darshan, Nija Rupa Darshan. So this is one more beautiful deity of or darshan of Lord Varaha Nrsimhadev. Varaha Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. So here also, Lord Bhakti, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur visits here, spends a lot of time here, and also has a very interesting exchange with the king there, establishing the offenses of against the holy name, like that. And his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprints are also established here. Yes, Prabhu, Shivakuna Prabhu.
Prabhu, these two personalities near Varahadev.
They are the consorts of consorts, Prabhu, Shri Devi and Devi.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Krishna, VishvaKalyan Prabhu, in Yajnapura, there were 4 deities on one stone, no? Varahadev, Jagannath, Lakshmi Devi, and right of Lakshmi Devi.
Yes. So here, actually, both are combination of Lord Varahadev. Both are Varahadev.
On the center.
This is Lakshmi Devi.
Okay.
Both of them are Lord Varahadev.
On white attire. Okay.
And this is Lord Jagannath.
So two
very observant, Prabhu. Thank you.
2 different deities. I do not want to disturb you and for the flow. I thought I'll ask.
Not at all. In fact, by your prayers and by your sincere endeavor, we got Punar Darshan of the Lord.
So when Shivakuna Prabhu asked now, so I thought I also wish the opportunity.
Yes. Thank you.
Jagannath deity also normally see darshan Daru Brahman, but here it is on the
rock.
This one, the
exactly. Rock. Yeah, here we have Shalagram Shila Darshan.
Yes.
Very good, Prabhuji. Yes.
This Shalagram, Prabhu, this large.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, is everybody ready to go to the next place? I have another 3 places of pilgrimage amongst many. So, after Simhachalam, where are we heading? I'll give you a hint. It is so we are crossing Andhra Pradesh and going. No, not Telangana. We are entering into the southern state of Andhra Pradesh. Yes. Tamil Nadu. So we are entering Tamil Nadu.
Sri Varaha Kshetra.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very good. So this is the transcendental, amazing dham of Sri Bhu Varaha Swami Kshetra or it's also famously known as Sri Mushanam. It's present in Kadalur district of Tamil Nadu. Sri Mushanam is a very, very, very famous temple. Right, Prabhu? How many of you have visited? Have you visited this Sri Mushana Kshetra?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Myself visited 2 times.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Very, very happy.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
So it's so nice that we have people who have visited this Sri Mushana Kshetra. Some importance of this particular Kshetra. There are 8 deities of Lord Vishnu within India which are self-manifest, which means Swayambhuva, which means self-manifest, right? So these 8 places are Srirangam, Sri Mushanam, which we are about to have darshan of, Tirumala or Tirupati, and Vanamamalai, Shalagramam, Pushkaram, Naimisharanyam, and Badrikashrama. So in all of these 8 places, the Lord has self-manifested there. The pastime of Sri Mushana is very, very sweet and very nice. So in Sri Mushana Kshetra, the Lord chased Hiranyaksha and brought back Mother Earth in this particular spot. So Mushanam comes from the word Muttam, which means hit the surface. So at this particular spot, it was hit. The Lord basically touched. The Lord stayed here permanently by the request of Mother Bhumi. The temple Pushkarini here is very, very famous as well. So this temple Pushkarini or the temple pond is basically known to be formed from one drop of perspiration or sweat from Lord Varahadev after the fight with Hiranyaksha. So after the fight, Hiranyaksha was about to leave his body and about to die. But before dying, Hiranyaksha had one final request that, he requested Lord Varahadev to turn towards him and give one darshan or glance at him before he leaves his body. And Lord Varahadev wanted to fulfill this transcendental request of Hiranyaksha, his last wish. He wanted to bless him with this particular request. So Lord Varahadev at this particular kshetra is witnessed to be, or his lotus face is pointing towards the southern direction, whereas his torso and abdomen is pointing in the western direction. So this is the sweet pastime of Lord Varahadev. Also, it will be very interesting to know that from in the kunda, right, in the pond, one particular hair of Lord Varahadev fell into the kunda, the tirtha. And from that particular hair, there is what came out? Exactly. Kusha grass emanated from that particular pond. So this is very, very famous pastime here. Water was the perspiration of Lord Varahadev. Yes. Correct. So here also Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited during his South Indian Yatra. So he visited the Sri Mushana temple and he offered his obeisances here, his prayers here, and he spent the night here. So this is the wonderful courtyard. Now we are entering into the temple of Sri Bhuvarahaswamy temple in Sri Mushana. This is the beautiful tirtha or the Nitya Pushkarini, right? So all of us can have a virtual dip here and sanctify ourselves. And this is also a wide range or a wide angle shot of the entire Pushkarini. So beautiful, right? So Sri Bhuvarahaswamy Bhagavan ki Jai. This is the Pushkarini. I could not find the deity's photo here. Okay, so this is the wonderful kshetra of Sri Bhuvarahaswamy. So from here, from Kadalur, we will take a shift to
Sri Lanka, Kerala.
No, Prabhuji. So we'll go west. We'll go westways towards Karnataka. So this is also a temple where the Lord is also known as Sri Bhu Varaha Swami, but this is in Kallahalli or Mysore, okay, in Karnataka. So this is a very nice temple, sweet temple, right? Very famous within the Mysore district or within the residents of Karnataka. Many people visit here and offer their prayers and obeisances here, because the Lord is very famous to have many reciprocations with the devotees here. And many people believe that, they are able to sense and realize the mystic potencies of the deity here, manifesting in the various Nitya Leela pastimes of the Lord. So which is why many pilgrims throng here, offering their prayers and their respects to Varaha Swami here in the village of Kallahalli. This is on the banks of Hemavati river. So the peculiar feature of the deity here is the deity is 18 feet tall. 18 feet, huge deity. And it is it's a monolith vigraha, which means the entire deity is made of only one stone of Shaligram Shilpa. Right? Okay. And this temple is said to be more than 2,500 years old. This also is a Punya Kshetra where Gautama Muni or the sage Gautama performed this penances. We also saw one more place where Gautama Muni performed his penances. What was that?
Varaha Ghat, Vrindavan.
Yes, Varaha Ghat in Vrindavan. Jai. So the Sthala Purana of this place goes in this way. That according to the legend, there was a king called Veeraballala, who was the king of this region. And he was, this was a jungle at that time. And while he was going in his one of his hunting expeditions, he got lost in the forest that was here. So after getting lost, he was feeling very tired and fatigued, and he took rest under a tree. And when he was taking rest, he witnessed a miracle happening in that particular area. So what happened is a hunting dog, a wild dog, was chasing a rabbit. And after chasing the rabbit for a while, in twist of events, the rabbit started chasing the dog, the hunting dog. And looking at this stage, it's very strange. Why is the rabbit following a hunting dog, a wild dog? And the king, when he started to contemplate on this, and he started to sense some the presence of some mystical potency over there. And then he immediately ordered that particular place be dug up. And then, lo and behold, the wonderful, magnanimous deity of Pralaya Varaha Swami was hidden under the layers of earth. So then once again, the king was very happy that, was very fortunate that Lord Varahadev gave darshan in this particular transcendental form to the king. And then the king established this wonderful temple that you see here, right? So ornate, so beautiful. This particular temple was established by King Ballala Dev. So this is the beautiful mandapa in front of the Garbhagriha of Sri Bhu Varaha Swami. Now we'll have the darshan of the Lord. So this is the deity of Sri Bhu Varaha Swami. Sri Bhu Varaha Swami ki jai. Huge deity, 18 feet. So one more picture that I found of the Lord, completely, ornate with all of his paraphernalia, beautifully worshipped. You can see the huge steps beside the Lord, right? Used by the devotees to, basically worship the Lord, to bathe him, to dress him, to serve him, in assisting in all of the devotional activities. And this is also one of the beautiful darshans of the Lord, a little close up, where all the devotees are offering turmeric. This is called Manjal Seva. Happens once a year to the Lord. So This is a beautiful darshan of Lord Bhuvaraha Swami. So now we visited southward towards Kadalur district. From Kadalur district, we went to Karnataka in Mysore. From Mysore, once again, let's come back to Tamil Nadu, right? A little northwards towards Kanchipuram. This is a beautiful temple of the Lord called as Sundaravarada Perumal temple. So here, this is a very interesting temple also. The Lord is giving darshan as Varaha Swami or Varaha Perumal as well, whereas the presiding deity is Lord Narayana in his four-handed form. So you can have darshan of Lord Varahadev here as well. But the presiding deity is Sundaravarada Perumal. This temple is very, very closely associated with the folklore or the tales of Mahabharata, and the Sthala Purana goes as such that Bhima wanted to worship the Lord and please the Lord. So at this particular place, he was very devoutedly worshipping Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. And then, lo and behold, for the pleasure of his pure devotees, the Pandavas, the Lord manifested himself as Lord Varahadev in front of Bhima, and he gave darshan as Varahadev. And it is said that the Lord gave darshan in three other forms to three other Pandavas. So, namely, he gave darshan as Achyuta Varada, Aniruddha Varada, and Kalyana Varada to Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva, the Pandava princes. So by having darshan of these magnanimous lordships in these beautiful forms, all the Pandavas were relieved of all of their distress and suffering from wandering in the jungles. So in this way, the consort of the Lord here, the presiding deity is, like we said, is Sundaravarada, and the Lord's consort is Andalavalli. So Andalavalli also, Mother Andalavalli gives darshan to Draupadi Devi, the wife of the Pandavas. So in that way, all the Pandavas get darshan of the Lord. This is also a wonderful place, or one of the temples of Lord Vishnu, where you can see the Lord giving darshan both standing, sitting, and sleeping. One more temple is very, very famous like this, where the Lord gives standing, sleeping, and sitting darshan in three particular stories. Where is that? Anybody knows? It's a beautiful temple.
Any clue?
It's in Madurai.
Oh.
Okay, this is homework for all of you. So find out the temple of Lord
Sundareshwara
Vishnu.
Perumal, Prabhu.
Sorry?
Sundareshwara.
Sundareshwara Shivana, Prabhu. Sundareshwara Shivana.
Meenakshi Sundareshwara are
That is
the
Shiva
sister and
and
brother-in-law of this particular Lord.
Correct. That is Shiva and Parvati. Yeah, Meenakshi
Yes.
Sundareshwara.
Yes. Okay, so all of you find out about this temple.
Who decorated brother-in-law Shiva for the marriage? Yes, yes.
Correct, correct. So it's a very nice temple. It's a Vimana temple. So the Vimana of the Lord is personally present there. You can have beautiful day darshans there. Three particular stories, right? Homework. All of you can find out about this Lord more and more there. Okay, so let us continue our pilgrimage of Sundaravarada Perumal temple. So this is a beautiful darshan of the Lord here. And this is also a nice view from the Gopura or the Vimana to the Gopura of the Lord, right? The village name is Uttirameru in Kanchipuram. And this is also the huge, beautiful Gopura of Sundaravarada Perumal temple. Just look at the intricate details of the Gopuram. So ornate, so magnanimous, so vibrant, so detailed, so beautiful, right? Absolutely spellbounded when anybody has darshan of the Lord. And of course, the landscape, you have your 5G cell towers also, courtesy of Tamil Nadu government, for your uploading your selfies or Instagrams or something like that. So yeah, this is the beautiful deity darshan of Sundaravarada Perumal temple. So let's go inside the temple and sanctify ourselves in the beautiful Kunda or Tirtha of Sundaravarada Perumal temple here. And this is once again a close-up of the Vimana or the main sanctum sanctorum of the Lord. Just look at the beautiful details. When I had the darshan of this picture, I was just absolutely spellbound by how beautiful the carvings are and how much all the devotees, of the Lord were dedicating themselves. I mean, all of this would have taken so much skill, so much hard work, so much dedication, and so much meditation on the pastimes of the Lord. So much resources as well economically. So I felt such a amazing way of engaging oneself in the service of the Lord. So this is very, very beautiful. And this is the beautiful deity darshan of Lord Varahadev with his consort Lakshmi Devi. Or this is Bhudevi, forgive me. And the main deity here is Sundaravarada Perumal temple, or also known as Vaikunta Perumal temple. Vaikunta Perumal. So here the Lord is so beautiful. That is why he is known as Sundaravarada. So beautiful to witness. So in this way, so we shall conclude our pilgrimage all throughout India with the beautiful pastime pilgrimages or the places of pilgrimage, places of worship of Lord Varahadev, which are less known in comparison to all the other Vishnu temples that we know. So certainly by witnessing all of these, having a virtual yatra, I hope all the devotees are enlivened to have an actual yatra and have the actual darshan of the Lord. It's been too long that we are separated from our dear Lord. So I hope the Lord also accepts our prayers, like Murari Gupta, like Vasudeva Vipra, and all the other devotees. And somehow or the other, if he feels we are worthy of his darshan, then maybe he can bestow his divine glance upon us and give us his darshan. So this is the magnanimous pastimes of Lord Varahadev. No wonder that Lord Brahma's mind, who is, the supreme creator of this particular universe, the supreme being of this universe, even he was bewildered by the magnanimous pastimes of Lord Varahadev.
Hare Krishna, I think Prabhu's video is not coming.
Video is okay, bro. Audio got some problem.
Audio is no video also. Video post.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
video.
yes. It's frozen. Yes.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Now lost anything.
Now he came back.
Forgive me. So I just wanted to convey my forgiveness and seek forgiveness and blessings from all the devotees assembled here. If I have transgressed or committed any offense, if you have felt anything inspiring, enlivening, or motivating, useful to you in your spiritual life, please retain that and take it forward. And if there is anything other than that, please forgive me and bless me, and let's leave it here. So I don't
Really,
think
we
I
have
will be able
visited
to.
all the holy places. Thank you, Prabhuji, very much for taking us within the short time to all the places. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Fantastic.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I'm very, very grateful for
Hare
all
Krishna.
of you to give me this opportunity and for your patient listening throughout all of this narration. I'm not a very good narrator, but I hope all of you had a beautiful darshans of the Lord in all of his divine places of pastimes and his beautiful darshans. So once again, I would like to express my gratitude to all of the assembled Vaishnavas here for their patient and attentive listening. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, although I am totally unqualified.
We have
So
to thank
Shri
you,
Lord Varahadev Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare
Ah,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. This guys VishvaKalyan very much. You've done a wonderful presentation. Prabhu, audio is clear?
Roji's audio also not clear.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
knowledgeable proof.
Yes.
Able to understand.
Some disturbance is there now.
Yeah, while reading also in between it was.
Yeah.
Can
Now,
all of us go on mute
It's okay.
while
Able to understand.
His Grace Shivaguna Prabhu
Go ahead.
speaks?
yeah. Now I don't know. Now it's better.
So better.
Yeah. So thank you, VishvaKalyan Prabhu. Actually, it was a very wonderful presentation. As Sri Kumar Prabhu very beautifully highlighted that we have taken us in this lockdown. Definitely, we did not know this much depth of information. We were knowing few temples, but throughout India, so many temples are established for the Lord. So that was today, and also the pastimes related to the Lord. That also was very beautifully narrated. So we were able to also get the darshan of the Lord deities. So that is also we are very fortunate, and I think you have done a great research work on that. And I am so amazed that I informed you only Thursday evening, but within a short period, it's only Friday, only one day, you made such a beautiful presentation with so much information, so beautifully to put together, with the flow from north to south. Very beautiful. I think it was Lord's choice that you should present this. That's what I feel, because suddenly I was thinking like your name came into my mind at that time. So I think it was Lord's choice that you will be taking this verse today for the benefit of all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So everything is Lord's arrangement.
I have actually stepped beyond my reach, beyond my game, beyond my adhikar and level, and spoken about pastimes that are beyond my understanding and imagination. So, but however, I made a humble and sincere attempt only for my own purification and spiritual progress. So I request all of you to please bless me so that I actually understand and assimilate whatever I have spoken and implement it in my own spiritual life. So please bless me, all of you, that I may progress in my spiritual life.
Hari Bol. Sir Prabhu, all our prayers are there for you and Mataji as well. Both of you wonderfully serving the yatra. So thank you, Prabhu. It was really very, very informative and very inspirational session. I think even when we are celebrating Sri Varaha Dwadasi, that appearance of Lord Varahadev, the same presentation can be again, reshared with so that much more audience can get to know about the glories of Varahadev and the places, pastimes related to that. I think that will be a wonderful idea when we celebrate that festival. We can share this again. So it's so wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. So
and it's so close to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. There are so many intricate and intimate pastimes along with Lord Gauranga.
Yes.
So Lord Varaha is very, very close to all of us.
Yes, very true. And we know that like for Narsimhadev, we pray that we have to protect from dangers like that. We know we are praying to Lord Krishna to get the love of God. Okay, now with Varahadev, like any kind of specific prayers are there, like because every deity has some specific thing which they can grant to their devotees, like fearlessness, like love of God, or like so many things. So, is there anything like that with specific with Varahadev that he will bless us with this kind of thing to achieve the the Lord's mercy?
That is a very good question, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, have something? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So I was reading a little bit from Varaha Purana and Navadvipa Dhamma Mahatmya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I will combine what I have assimilated from both and present in my own words. the glories of Lord Varahadeva are described in both. It is said that Lord Varahadev, or in Varaha Purana, it is described that the waters of Gangamai, when it is purified 100 times, it becomes the waters of Yamuna. Also, one citation is given there of how the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu equals one name of Lord Ram, and 3 names of Lord Ram equals one name of Lord Krishna. Also, one significance is mentioned there that whoever worships the Lord within Navadvip, all his offenses and obstacles on the path of bhakti will be removed. So if one wants to be freed from offenses, this is the place to worship the Lord. So this is one particular mahima or mahatmya that I understood. Have anything else?
So we can pray to Varaha Swami, requesting him how he has lifted the mother from such a condition, how he has lifted. So in the same way, to pray that our consciousness is so degraded to bring it back in the state of Krishna consciousness. And I also heard that all the bad habits, everything that we have, if we pray to Varaha Swami, it will help us.
Yes. This is also something that I have heard in a couple of lectures, that if anybody is having some bad habits or some unwanted vasanas, to overcome them, Lord Varaha, prayers to Lord Varaha will help.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was
and
wonderful.
Just to reiterate what Sirisha said, if it was not audible, so just like Lord Varaha established Mother Bhumi into her place of dignity within the cosmos, similarly, we can pray to Lord Varaha that he establish our consciousness from or uplift the consciousness from the current degraded and contaminated position to the Vasudeva Sattva platform, so that we may offer pure devotional service unto his lotus feet.
Hari Bol. Thank you, bro. That was very wonderful.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hari Bol,
Prabhu,
Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, Yajna Varaha, personification of Yajnas. So, our business is Sankirtan Yajna. So, who else can bestow the mercy for our continuous progress in this Yajna, Prabhu? So, just a thought by relating with the name, not from scriptures or lectures. So, may Lord Varaha bless all of us to endure
The Lord's
Sankirtan Yajna.
Yeah. Can I take 2 more minutes? The Lord's glories and pastimes are unlimited and beyond the modes of material nature and beyond the mundane intellect. So one day, what happened is Bharadwaja Muni, the famous saint, had a desire that he wanted to master the entire Vedic literature. But he understood that his lifetime was only for 100 mortal years. So at that particular point of time, he did some vigorous tapasya, and he pleaded to Lord Indra, and Indra was very pleased. And Indra granted him an extension of another 100 years of lifetime, like visa extension. So he gave extension of his lifetime for 100 years. And then Bharadwaja Muni continued even more fervently his study of the Vedic literature. And then at the end of his second 100 years, he once again did tapasya. Once again, Indra came and gave the benediction of extension. Like that, 5 times Indra gave extension, and Bharadwaja Muni continued to study the Vedic literatures, to understand the magnanimity and the glory of the Lord, to understand the absolute truth. And then after the 5th time, once again, Bharadwaja Muni presents the same plea to King Indra or Lord Indra. And Indra then manifests with his potency, three huge mountains representative of Bhur, Bhuva, and Suva. Huge mountains. And from those mountains, he collects some dust, right? Little portions of dust from the three mountains, and it becomes a fistful of dust. He approaches Bharadvaja Muni and mentions that, look, throughout all of these, lifetimes or extensions of lifetimes that you have attempted to study the Vedic scriptures, you have only understood a fistful, whereas what is remaining is three mountains full, and millions of kalpas of lifetimes will also not be sufficient to assimilate all this knowledge. Therefore, Bharadvaja Muni understood the insignificance of his endeavor, and understood that the idea is not to study the entire Vedic scriptures, but to understand and assimilate the essence of everything. And the essence is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedecha Purane Chaiva, Vedecha Ramayane Chaiva, Purane Bharatam Yatha, Adavantecha Madhye Chaiva, Hari Sarvatra Giyate. The glorifications of the Lord is the ultimate pastime, purpose. Right? Vedaischa Sarver Ahameva Vedya is also noted in the Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, the Lord's pastimes, the Lord's glories are very difficult to understand with our own endeavor. That is why they are revealed to us by the Lord by his own causeless mercy. And this, not only the pastimes of the Lord, but the most magnanimous thing is the love of God. Because Krishna is ready to give even liberation to his devotees. But love of God, he is not ready to give. Because if anybody has obtained love of Godhead, then the Lord personally is, he sells himself to that devotee. He is obliged or obligated to do whatever the devotee says. Therefore, he very rarely presents love of Godhead. And it is the most magnanimous Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, who has opened this treasure chest of Lord or love of Godhead, and freely distributed love of Godhead without distinguishing caste, creed, religion, qualification, anything. Freely distributed to everybody. Ritivete Acharya Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prashara Hoibe Mona Naam. And the same love of Godhead was presented to all of us through the disciplic succession by none other than our dear, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and his sincere followers who are continuing to do so to spread the nectar of Lord Gaurasundara. So that's what I was contemplating, that, how grateful we all must be to all of these personalities for giving us such a, it's the most treasured and most valuable thing. But I, being the most unqualified person to receive this, but still here I am speaking about something which I am not qualified for. So this is something inconceivable and unlimited mercy of the Lord. Ahayadati Kripa.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So actually this link is also available in YouTube, so I'll share the link. So if you want to share with any of your friends, definitely you can do that. Right, Sudarshan was there, Prabhu? Anything to finally wind up?
Yes,
Thank
we can
you.
wind up, Prabhu.
So, okay, thank you. So on behalf of all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, we'll thank Prabhu for his wonderful efforts in inspiring and enlightening about Sri Varahadev. So we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
kalpatarubhyascha
kripa
kripa
sindhubhya
sindhubhyascha
vacha
patitanam
patana
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo namo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
namaha.
नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
Jai,
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय शिला
Jai,
प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रेस विश्व
Jai.
कल्याण गौर प्रभु की जय
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
May the God Bhakta Vrinda ki
All
jai.
glories
जय
to the devotees.
Hare.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. All glories to Subhadra. Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
all
Krishna.
for participating. So
Thank you,
our
Prabhu.
next program will be today evening. There will be a program Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto.